Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you see a different setting, we now have upgraded to a studio setting. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here, for supporting me. And if you're new here, my name is Marsha T. I've been doing makeup for over 15 years. I'm now a Sephora employee, and so today we're going to be giving you all these suggestions for stuff that I use day to day, every single day actually, for you guys whenever you guys come in to shop. But these are some of my favorite items that I've been using for years, and I feel like you guys deserve to try them on more than the products your favorite influencers suggesting, if I may add that, because hey, they may be using it for occasions, but I'm using it every single day, and plus I'm selling that to you, so I know exactly what I'm recommending to you guys, so stay tuned for those. But hey, let me show you my shopping as well. I got a couple of products. I did show later in the video which setting spray I restocked, but you're gonna see that soon. I did get myself a leave-in conditioner from Gisu. I've heard a lot about it, so I'm gonna test that out. And then I got the Chris McMillan styling balm because a lot of people said that that's really good for your slick back hair buttons, and I feel like that's me on my third or fourth day of styling my hair when I'm going to work. But there are a couple of more items which I'm going to show later, or maybe in another video. Let me know if you guessed it by what's in here. I actually want you guys to guess what's in here. Let's see how you guys guess that. And if you guess it right, let's plan a giveaway soon. Let's give you something as well in return. So thank you Sephora for coming along. Here you go. Here's your video of Sephora favorites or Sephora suggestions you should be trying on this sale season. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my hair away from my face before we start our glam. Just using this claw. Again, part of the Sephora sale. If you've not tried any of the m.ph claws, give this a try. They're really cute. They're very practical now that summer is here and you want to add just an accessory to your outfit. I feel like this is the first Sephora sale rec that I feel like you should definitely add to your cart. The first step in my routine is usually any Milky toner. Yes, you're thinking right. 30 seconds and I'm going to show you exactly what each and every influencer is currently showing you to definitely add in your cart. Is the Rhode Glazing Milk. I use this religiously, but I feel like now that I know the ingredients and now that I deal with clients every single day, what I have got to know is that this contains coconut alkane. So if you're allergic to it or you have acne prone skin, then you do not want to use this. You want to use this. This is from Innisfree. It's almost the same thing. Gives you the same results like that. Sorry, you have to do OG ways for my camera to focus, so just ignore that. But this is the one thing that will give you the same results as Rhode. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do Rhode on this side. I'm gonna do Innisfree on this side for you to see how it looks. So like I said, we're gonna do Rhode on this side. I'm gonna put it like that. Divide it so. Around my nose. My cheek, like so. And this is that glowy look everybody has been raving about, right? This is the kind of result you want, or you want your skin to look like. Now let's say you have sensitive skin and you're like, I don't want to use that, but I want to get the same look. I got you. You're going to use the same style of toner. You're going to use this one from Innisfree, and look at that glow. It's the same thing as the Rhode, just without all the pore clogging ingredients. So there you have your skin. Look at that. Look at this. Same thing. Also, the Innisfree one is cheaper and lighter in texture, so you can pick whichever you want. I say whoever has sensitive skin, go for the Innisfree one. So your hydration doesn't end here. Imagine layering. Imagine creating layers to, I would say, layers on top of your skin before you lay your foundation. So what I like to do is I put any toner of my choice. I go ahead with any creamy mist I have. I cannot find my Rhode Glazing mist, but that's one of my favorites. This is my second favorite. This is the Violet Milk. This is one of my favorites. And then I also like the Astoria one, which also I can't find. I do not know where I placed it. So we're gonna make this work. We're gonna take this, we're gonna spritz it on both sides. So this is how your skin should be looking, extremely glowy, but we're not gonna end there. You see, you think this is all the glow I need? No. We need more. Actual primer. You're gonna be using the Too Faced Glowy Serum. I'm using the color Vanilla Beam. I literally do not see anyone using it like a primer, and I feel almost like I'm overdoing it each time I place it like this, but this is how I like to do my makeup. I'm gonna put it on both sides so you guys can see. But this is just gonna give you a glowy base. Just glow, right? And you can see without any cuts how your skin's just gonna be gleaming. Tin Man Who, right? And then like that, I'm gonna press it on the top point or top part of my face, cheek. I really cannot find the words today. But here you can see I'm just placing it like so. And then on the highest points of the face. Like imagine strobing but redefined. You're not just putting it in certain parts of your face, you're putting it all over your face. And that's how glowy your skin should be looking before you place foundation. Now as for foundation, I literally fell in love with this foundation. There's a story behind it. I was on my no buy March. I was like, I'm not gonna be buying anything. Even though it's very difficult, like working at Sephora or any beauty store is so difficult because each time something that's new, something that you know is gonna be out on the floor or out in different branding station or gondolas, you know that it's gonna be there, and you just go in the back and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna add that and reserve that for myself. This is what that was, that one foundation I was like, I'm not getting. I have way too many foundations. I have two drawers filled with foundation, so I don't need another one. So let me just sample it and see if I like it. That's where I went wrong. I sampled it and the next day I was like, shit, I have to buy it. It is so good. So this is the Little Skin from m.ph. It is one of the best foundations out there. I'm sorry about the grease. I just touched it with my primed hands. But this is that one foundation I love using. Brush, I'm still trying to see if I like it. But this is the best thing out there that you can ever use. So the way I like to use it is that I take it on the back of my hand. I will place it here. And then I'm gonna warm it up on the back of my hand like so. And then I'm gonna place it where I want the most coverage. This does have decent coverage, so you wanna be careful with how you're placing it around the face. Like so. I feel like I need one more pump, so I'm gonna take it a little bit on the back of my hand, like a half pump. I'm gonna place it here. Maybe a little more on my cheek because I do have some scarring on the cheek. A little more on this side and some over here. And we are done. But you're not going to wipe the back of your hand just yet. So picking what's on the back of your hand on a brush of your choice, I'm using the foundation brush from Hourglass. I really like how this picks up foundation and blends it for me. So I'm picking up the excess on my brush. And I'm just going to start pressing it into my skin like so. Now, one thing that's a little tricky with this foundation is shade match. So I recommend you do not match yourself online. I recommend you head down to nearest Sephora to your location and then just try it out in stores instead of ordering it online. Because again, the shade match that you do in stores is going to help you a lot more than just placing an order online and then, you know, replacing it in store, being disappointed that you may not find the shade that you actually match to in store. Because again, everybody's ordering, everybody's coming in and shopping. You want to make sure you're matching yourself now in order to maybe order it later once you're back home if you still see it in stock. But just try coming into a store and then asking any associate that, hey, I would like to be matched to this foundation. But you can literally see I did not cut one single segment of this video where you could see how easily this blended into my skin. I didn't have to do too much and it gave me decent coverage around my face. just never take foundation over your eyes. As much as I can tell people, I love to remind them, don't take foundation closer to your eyes. I may look like a raccoon right now. Trust the process. Trust it. Before I go straight to applying concealer, I feel like these 3 products are worth the mention. First is the CL Serum Foundation. I feel like not a lot of people are talking about it, and if they are, they're just misguiding it. The entire community online. This is not a skin tint. This is tinted serum foundation. That means when you use it, you take the cap off, you take the dropper, you take it on the back of your hand like so, and then you take it from here and apply it. If you apply with a sponge, it'll be a light coverage. If you dot it on your skin, it's going to be a light coverage. If you take it with your brush from here and apply it to your face, it's going to be like a traditional foundation. So it's the most versatile product that's out there that you can find at Sephora. So I highly recommend you try this out right now during the sale season. Another one of my favorites is the Armani Luminous Skin Foundation. Luminous Skin, what did I say? Luminous Skin. It's Luminous Silk Foundation. I really like this one. I do like the new formula, but I did something really stupid. Sephora gave this to us in our training products, and I accidentally ordered my shade in the previous formula, which turned out to be very deep, very warm for me. So now I got myself the shade number 4.1. This was my shade 4 and 4.5 in the previous one. And for reference, let me show that to you how that looks. So this is shade number 4.1. You see that? That's 4.1. And mind you, this is 4.5, which I'm now going to swatch for you to see right next to it. Why I said that it's extremely warm for me to use right now. Here you go. It is very peachy, very orangey, which 4.5 never was for me. So that's something that's a little disappointing, but I am very happy with 4.1 right here. And I really like how this looks on my skin. Okay, so another one of my foundations is this cream foundation and finishing powder duo from Patrick Ta. Again, one more product that not a lot of people talk about. This is one of my most used product, and the shade that I use is light 3. So don't judge the condition of it, okay? This is the most easiest product that I have out of my foundations, which I grab when I have 5 minutes to get ready. I will take it with my finger, put my brush, and I am done. This is the most convenient foundation to use ever. So it looks like this right now, but this is the shade light 3, and let me show that to you for reference how that looks. Damn, today I can't talk. But this is my match for you guys to see. You really can't tell where I applied it, did you? There you go. That's light 3 for you. Now these are some of my favorite concealers. I use them every single day. I change the rotation. When I need more coverage, I use it accordingly. When I need less, I use it accordingly. Damn, I can't talk today. But if I want something right in the middle, that's when I use a different concealer, which I'm going to show you shortly. But these are the 3 other options that I love using. I love using the Tower 28 here. I love using the Charlotte Tilbury right here, and then the Haus Labs right here. And my shades, the Tower 28 is DTLA v 4.0, which I use every single day. It's slightly lighter than my actual skin complexion, but it's not very light. I do like a brightening concealer. And then the Haus Labs in shade number 11. This matches me really well. And then I have the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Blur Concealer in the shade 4.5. I do like the color 4 and 3.5, which I feel like I'm gonna get during the sale season for just brightening. But what we're gonna be using today is the Patrick Ta Soft Blur Concealer. The shade that I got is light peachy neutral 2. This is what we will be using today. How I like to use it is I'm going to be looking here towards my mirror, so don't worry. You just place it right here, like so, and some right here. And the same thing that I put here is what I'm going to put on top on my eyelids right here, like so. And you will let it sit. You will not blend one section of this area where you're placing your concealer. Just see how far you're taking it, place it there, place it on top, and let it sit. The way they taught us at Sephora is that you let it sit for 30 seconds, you let it marinate, and then after that you will start blending. How you will blend, I'm using the concealer brush from Patrick Ta as well. You use the fluffy side to diffuse it towards your cheek, and then you use the other side to blend it closer to your lash line. So now that 30 seconds have passed on this side, do not mind me using a close-up mirror, but I'm going to come closer for you to see. You start blending it like so, you start diffusing it, the edges, drag as much pigment as you want. Same thing for the outer corner, diffuse it, like so. Press it into your skin, like so, and then you will flip your brush. You're going to go closer and start pressing the concealer into the skin like so. Press, press, press. Take it as close as you want. I like taking it in my inner corner because that is the most darkest point for my discoloration. I love taking it there. Then you place it closer here, and then you close your eyes, and then you will blend it a little further like so. So this is the concealer application right here. You guys have to try this concealer. Now for powder, we will be using the Huda Beauty Loose Powder Duo in Cherry Peach. I love this one. My backups have backups, so if you've not tried it, do give this a try. How I like to use it is I take the puff, I take the excess off on the back of my hand or on the front, like right here. I press it into the puff, and then I start pressing it under the eye. Although the Patrick Ta one, I kind of feel like it's self-setting because the way it just sucks up all the powder. I don't feel like you need it. But if you have oily skin like me, you can place some powder right under the eye, like so. Like that. So this is going to brighten your under eye, but also set everything in place like so. The same thing I'm going to do on the top as well after blending it just a little because I do see some creasing. I'm going to push the product out and then place this powder exactly where we want this at. So like so, we're gonna blend the other side as well, and then whatever I had on my hand is exactly what I'm using for my eyelids, like so. And then there you go. Your skin is all done, but I'm not done here. I don't just use typical loose powders. I love using the pressed powders, and this is my latest edition, which is very hard to open, and I struggle every single time. But do I love it? I do. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Flawless Pink Soulmates Face Palette. Oh, I don't know when there will be a day when we will see Charlotte Tilbury not give us big names to say, but this is how the palette looks like. And I love using this side for brightening. I'm using the Spectrum X KJH brush right here. I picked the lightest shade here, like so. And then I'm gonna press it in the inner corner here. And then you're gonna see how this side looks a little more brightened than the other side. And that's how I like to layer my Huda Beauty powder with the Charlotte Tilbury one. But I take it all over. I don't just press it in here because I feel like it's going to blend seamlessly into my blush today. And then like so, I place it. But I also like to take it a little here in the middle of the forehead. I do not like it extremely shiny, so I like to take the shine away. Then on the top parts right here, we're going to take the oils away. Same thing for the chin. I do not want it to glow, so I'm going to lightly pat down in this specific section of the face, so like that. The rest of the face still remains glowy. For cheek, this is one of my favorite products out there. This is the Mario Softsculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer in the shade medium. This is what I use for bronzing. I don't use anything else, to be honest, for bronzing. I contour usually after bronzing. I don't do it before. So what I do is I place the bronzer here. I do tap off the excess here on my hand, by the way. I don't directly go ahead with this product even though it's very sheer, you just want to be careful with how much you apply, because, you know, if you're heavy-handed on the blush, you could also be heavy-handed with your bronzer, right? So I like to take it like so. I place it on my cheek, like a light wash of something. It's not too much because we like to build our bronzer in layers. For blush, there are a couple of my favorites. That is the Rhode Piggy, and then I have the Haus Labs Glassy Pomelo, and I like to layer these together, so I'm going to show that to you shortly. But before we go ahead with blushes, I'm going to show you what I like to do when I want to intensify the bronzy tones in my skin. I like to go ahead with the Haus Labs contour stick right here. I use the shade Sculpt. Now how I like to go about it is, like, I take it on my brush, or I take it on this part of my hand, because this is that one area that warms up really fast. So like right here, you're going to take this, and then you're just going to take this section off your brush. Again, I'm using the Mario F4. I'm going to pick it up. And one thing that the Haus Labs associate told us is that you have at least half a minute to blend this out. So you want to go section by section instead of drawing it on the face. So, like so, I sculpt my face and bring that cool tone back. But I do section by section. I do not draw on my face. And the same thing while it's still on that portion of my hand, I'm going to take it on this part of my face and add the warmth back. This is how your skin should be looking with the contour and bronzer. Right amount of it, and then you will go ahead again with the Haus Labs blush right here. I like to again use the back of my hand. I'm going to warm it up here. The color looks like this, so I'm going to take it at least 2 swipes of it. Then I'm going to take the brush, the fluffy side, take my blush here, and then start depositing the color on my cheek, like so. It's like the perfect summer color. Gives you the pop of color, but it's not in your face kind of color. So again, we're going to swipe it on the back of our hand, like so, for the other side of the cheek, like that, and then tap it on, like so. I love this color. I love using it as a topper, just like all over the face. Like some days I'm not even gonna wear bronzer and just go ahead with this color and put this all over, like so. But it doesn't end here. Do not ever think that I'm gonna use one blush and call it a day, because no, that does not exist in my dictionary. Calling it a day with just one blush, that's not how it works in my beauty room. We are using 5, and I'm not even kidding, we are going to be using 5 blushes today. We're going to go ahead with your Rhode Picky blush, but this time you're going to use your fingers. You're going to use your ring finger, tapping it on over here, and then take some over here. Like, I know some people will say, oh my god, weren't you the one advocating for Patrick Top blushes a while ago? Yes, I was, but I feel like they are a staple for everybody, and if you don't have those, then definitely start with She's Seductive. That's one of my favorite blushes out there. That's a one color that you can wear by itself. You do not need a bronzer. And then the She's Blushing blush from Patrick Ta, the blush duo. That is one of the best ones out there. But this is a one cheek combo that I did last summer and I fell in love with. And this is that one combo that earned me a lot of compliments in person by clients too, where we're like, okay, which blush are you wearing, girly? We want everything you have on the face. And I was like, are you sure you want everything that's on my face? Because you're not gonna like hearing how much of it I built in layers. So I like to take these 2 on the cheek like that, all over, and that's my blush application right there. So this is how I like to do my blush. If I feel like I need to top it off and I need a little more, I want something vibrant, then I'm going to use this MAC Glow Play blush in the shade Totally Synced to use on top, just to bring something back on the face. I'm going to use this brush right here, take it all over the blush, and because this is so sheer, you're just going to lightly press this on the cheek and set your blush in place like that. see, it's still gonna be very glowy. It's not gonna take that glow away, but it has the powders to just set everything in place for you and still keep that glow intact and not take anything away. So press it in, and then this should be all. This is one of my favorite products. I cannot go a single day without using it. And like I said in the previous part, I said this is all. It isn't. I was lying. This is the highlighter from Haus. It's in the color Rose Quartz. Looks like this. And what I do is I take the same fluffy brush, I go over, and then I just place it over here. I cannot stop wearing this one single product on top of my cream blushes. It sets it in place, but as this beautiful glow on top. Like, it's not sparkly, it is glowy, but it's not dull. It's just everything that you need to try this summer. At least you need to try it for sure. As for highlighter, this is that one palette I use if I feel like highlighting on top of this. It's the Dior Universal palette, and what I like to do with my highlighter application is that I like to mix these two right here. So I take a brush, I dip it first in the white one, the white gold, tap off the excess on the back of my hand like so, and then I start placing it in this portion of my face, like in a C. So this is the one area that's gonna grab the light really well. So if I'm walking out in the sun, this is the one portion I want it to shine. I take a little bit on the brow bone, whatever's left, after placing it in this area. And then same technique you're gonna take, and then you place it on top of your brow bone. More like the OG strobing technique, but just like ever so lightly place it right here. And then that's how your skin should be looking. So compare it to this side and then look at this side. It looks so good. Now that our cheek and face makeup is done, you want to set it in place with powder, and the one that I have been using is the One Size Powder Melt. And this is very rare to come by, which makes no sense. Like, I waited 3 months to restock this because I know if it goes out of stock, it's just gonna go out of stock. So this is the one thing that I love using when I'm done with my whole cheek and face routine. But I did get myself backup. My backup has their backup. So I'm sorted for 2 years. I think 2 years is quite a lot for the amount of times I use this, but this is my favorite setting spray right now. Like so. The base makeup should set in place. Damn, that hair is annoying me, but I just sprayed my face and I hate it. But here you go. This is how it should be looking. Glowy, but let it glow. Do not worry. Once your face dries down and you feel like, you know what, I need to mattify certain areas of my face, don't worry. Go ahead with the same powder, like pressed powder you use, not loose powder. So you want to use any pressed powder of your choice. Use any that you own, or if you want to get the same one from Charlotte Tilbury, go ahead with that. Take the shine away, which I will when I'm done with the rest of my makeup. Starting off with the eyes, I will write down my brows off camera. My brows, I use the Anastasia Archie Brow, the new pen. I got the color dark brown for myself, which is surprising because I thought I've been using medium brown this entire time. But it looks like this. You bring it up and you can never bring it back down. Damn, it's not gonna focus. There you go. It's very thin, and it's something I've been using for quite some time and have been enjoying. It makes my brow application very easy, and then I can go ahead with gel of my choice. But that's something I've been using. For eyes, I love using these Mario liquid or cream eyeshadows. I got taupe and chestnut. Today I will show you the one that I use the most, which is the shade taupe. How I like to use it is that I dab just a little where I feel like I need to, like, let's say closer to my lash line, and then before I go on to the other eye, I will start blending it immediately. I take a very fluffy brush, kind of fluffy but not too fluffy where it just goes all over my eye. No, just like dense, I would say. I just press it into my crease and start blending it upwards, and I usually like the pigment to be closer to my lash line, where the empty gaps usually are when we're trying to put eyeliner. That's where I like to place this eyeshadow first, like that. like a light wash of something. Now that I have the eyeshadow place, we're gonna make a decision on which eyeshadow palette to use. I have two favorites. I like this Patrick Towel one in the shade medium. It looks like this. It's something I have used and abused, and I still not hit the pan. I love this one. I like how pigmented it is and how my eyes look after I've used the warm tones of it. And plus, this eyeshadow combo just lasts throughout the day, and I don't have to worry that, oh my god, my eyes are creasing, the eyeshadow is budging, it's not working out for me. And then I have the Hung Van Gogh in Neutral. I like how cool tone browns look on me as well, but I don't have a lot of palettes like this, so this is one of the best ones to use. But today we're going to use the Patrick Towel one. I'm going to use a dense brush and go ahead with the shade right here, and then start placing this on the outer corners of the face, on the eye. Just do not have the right words to speak today, so excuse me on that one. I'm gonna start placing right here. So the liquid shadow on the bottom made it very easy to just build the depth on the eye. I'm just gonna place it right here and then just bring it here like so, and then push it back on top like that. So look, you added a little bit of something, but what you're gonna do is take any clean brush, a fluffy brush, like that, and then just blend it out a little more, like that. Then go back in with the brown, place as much as you like so. And go back in with a fluffy brush and blend it out a little more. This is how it should be looking, where you have the warmth here, but you have the cool tone here in this section. And it'll all make sense when you will see what I'm about to do. Now that we have it on both eyes, I'm gonna go ahead with this brown color right here, pick it up on a more fluffier brush, and then place it on the more outer corners, like so, like right here. I'm gonna place that color and blend it with the previous one. This is just gonna create that gradient effect, so it adds the smoky feel, but it's like not dramatic at all. Go with the brush once you are sure that you have placed most of the products, and now that it looks like a dome, go back with the fluffy brush. Go back, blend it in into all the layers with no extra product, I would say. Blend it out, and then that's how your eyeshadow should be looking so far. Blended gradient. Now for main eyeshadow, I'm going to be using the shadow stick from NARS. I'm using the shade Mind Games, and how I like to use it is I like to blend it with my fingers. So I'm going to just place it all over the lid, leaving the inner corner bare like so. I'm just going to place it like that, and then I'm just going to blend it just a little into the crease. And that's how the dimension that I built makes more sense, because it's matching the brown color that we're now placing on our lids. And just lightly pressing it over here. And same thing we're going to repeat on the other eye. This eyeshadow stick I feel like not a lot of people talk about, because the initial reaction wasn't that great. When this released, everybody was like, oh, everybody's getting on the bandwagon of just releasing eyeshadows, and this just doesn't make sense. But to be honest, it's the most easiest eyeshadow stick out there to just pop on, blend, and be done. Call it a day. So you just put it on, start blending, pressing on top on the lids like so, and that should be your shadow look. But for the inner corner, we have something better. The inner corner, today we're adding the sparkles. I'm using the Anastasia glider sticks in the shade Champagne Ice. So what I like to do with this one is I'm just gonna dab this on, like imagine inner corner highlighter, but instead you're using same tone eyeshadow, and you're just opening the eye little by little. You're just gonna place the specks and then just like slightly blend that out. You're gonna take any black eyeliner of your choice. My favorite is from Hung Van Gogh. This is called Along the Lash Line. I love using this thing, not just a tight line, but I love taking this as eyeliner. But before I do that, I'm just gonna lightly tight line. And tight line doesn't necessarily mean you cover the entire waterline, the top waterline. You just lightly push it into your lashes. So just remember to do that. It makes a huge difference, even if you're just planning on wearing a mascara and no falsies. I'm gonna place it like that. And it's okay if you feel like you messed up, that's fine, because we're gonna be placing the same thing as our eyeliner. So like that, you can see that I place it here. That's not an issue, because we're gonna take a flat brush like that. We're gonna take it on our eyeliner like so. I'm gonna place it, and then we're gonna just start running it on top, closer to the lash line. So wherever, if you feel like you messed up, that's okay. Just gonna go on top very lightly, and you're not gonna extend it out. You're not gonna wing it out at all. Just angle it like so. And then you have your eyeliner right there. Very light, barely there. Actual favorite eyeliner is the one from Anastasia, the liquid eyeliner. I like to basically map out when I'm done tight lining. I like to go ahead with the actual liquid eyeliner and just place it closer to my lashes, like so. So just add the intensity as much as I need, although this is very difficult with my mirror far away, but you know what? We're just gonna eyeball it. Like that. I'm just gonna equal it off, but you're just gonna see how this makes a huge difference. Your eyes look much more shaped here, and it just looks softer on this side. So you can do either or. You can leave it at this or add the eyeliner like I did over here. Now that our top part of the eye is done, I'm gonna go ahead with the Fenty Fine Lines Gel Eyeliner in Vinco Pink, and I love using this in the waterline. So I'm just gonna apply this seamlessly here for you to see. This just opens up the eyes, and if you're doing like sparkly eye, it just looks beautiful. I'm in awe of this formula, and I just hope she never has Rihanna or people at Fenty actually discontinue this, because this is so good. Like, it kind of reminds me of the OG Marc Jacobs gel liner, and I remember using the sparkly, almost peachy tone one for the waterline because I loved it so much. And like that, I'm just gonna line it, and then you can see how that just made a huge difference right there. Mascaras, I have two favorites. I love using this Soul Gazer one from Kosas, but I also like using the Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara. I love how my lashes look after I've applied it, and I love using the spiky side first. I press that into my lashes like so, and then I use the comb side to just like separate it. So I'm going to show you the difference of how my lashes look when I have placed the product and I've started lifting my lashes with the wand. Like, do you see the difference? These are my own lashes. I didn't know I had longer lashes up until I started using this mascara, and it is beautiful. But since I did one side with Alien, I'm going to do the other with Kosas. Why not? You should definitely see how both look. And then I'm just going to start placing that here. Both, quite honestly, it's just the Kosas one is kind of waterproof. It is a little difficult to just remove with your micellar water. So for daily use, I like to use the Ilia one. Unless I'm heading out, that's when I use the Kosas and other mascaras in my collection. This is the difference. This is the Kosas and this is the Ilia. So you can see why I like them. Now that our face makeup is done, we're going to be doing the lip combo. The way I like to do my lip is I split it into 3. So I like using the lip contour from Rhode. Now that it's included in sale, why not use it? I'm using the shade Lunge, and how I like to do is go overboard. Overline as much as I can. So I'm going to start with my bottom lip. And it actually makes it look like I went and got lip fillers on, which I have never. Like so. Looks like a proper pout. And my top lip is where I struggle the most, so this takes me more time than usual. But safe to say this is one of my favorite colors out of the lip contours. Do they even call it lip contour? It's peptide lip shape. And I keep calling it lip contour, but this is one of my favorite colors. And then for lip liner, we're going to be using the m.ph lip liner in the shade Sizzle. It's one of my favorite colors to ever use. I'm just going to press my lips together like so I can just draw it on the line that we created right now. And that's how the lip liner should be looking so far. And then for lipstick, what I like to do is go in with the Boum from Violet, but in the shade Rose Latte. What you do is you blot it on the lip like so. You can leave it at that if you want to. You can most certainly leave it at that, but I'm gonna add something a little deeper on top. I'm gonna be using this NARS Afterglow Lip Balm in the shade Dolce Vita, and it's one of my favorite lip combos. I like to use this on top like so. Blot it again. And that's how my lip combo is looking so far. Last but not least, I'm gonna add a lip balm on top. I love this Rhode Peptide Lip Boost in the Sugar Mint. And then I'm just gonna pop this on. And that's pretty much it for a makeup look. If you still feel like you wanna put another layer of setting spray, you're more than welcome to put it right now. But that's our lip combo of the day. Now, typically I do use a setting spray on top, so let me show you which one. I have a mini of this, but this is the iconic London Prep and Set Glow. I got this because of Jocelyn Hill, and I love her to death. I love how she put me on this one, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, but let me show you how this looks once done. I'm gonna pull my hair back, shake this, and then just on the highest point of the face is where I want to take it. Not all over the face, but you can see how this still looks glowy. And like I mentioned, you can go ahead with any powder of choice. So I'm going to go back in with the Charlotte Tilbury one. And then I'm going to set the areas that I feel like are still very shiny, and I'm going to take that shine away. So I'm going to go ahead with the powder right here again. And then I'm just going to press that here because I do not want it to be shiny. Like around my mouth, around my chin, just a little, and just right here in the middle of the forehead, because again, we have used setting sprays in it that just brings the shine back. But this is how the makeup should be looking so far. This is the look. Thank you for staying this far and coming along and seeing how we got this beat and what we use on the face. I feel like a lot of times people see it and stop the videos in the middle because we are yapping and yapping and yapping, and we're just like not showing the process. So this time I decided I'm going to show the process of each and every product I recommend. And I hope that made it easier for you guys to choose what you want to buy. But thank you for staying. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for just clicking on the video and seeing what I have to say. So thank you. And if you really liked it, I would really appreciate to see you as my subscriber. And for likes, if you liked it, just drop a thumbs up for me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.